Joining us now is Janatan Sayeh. He is a research analyst at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Janatan, welcome. So we really never see public protests against Hamas in Gaza. How significant are these demonstrations, and what do they tell us about the mood on the ground?
The recent protests highlight the key grievance of Gazans, which is Hamas rule, effectively. This further demonstrates that Hamas as a terrorist group does not safeguard Palestinian interests and has effectively taken 2 million people hostage. Israelis and Americans have been unified on this policy stance that Hamas should not maintain control of the Gaza Strip, and now Gazan residents are also calling for the removal of Hamas. They have a tough road ahead of them.
Janatan, with Hamas's tight control in Gaza, how dangerous is it for people to speak out like this? And then could this possibly spark a broader movement or even a broader backlash?
It is very likely. Ultimately, what we need to keep in mind about these terrorist groups, their authoritarian nature and their Islamist nature prevents any sort of freedom of speech, expression, or any sort of discontent against the ruling system, which is not unique to Hamas. It goes back to all Iranian proxies, and the Islamic Republic in Iran itself all are very, very strict when it comes to any form of dissatisfaction compared to the ruling class. So because of that, this is very unprecedented. And in a place like Gaza, where Hamas has ultimate control of the movement and of civic engagement of its residents, it is unprecedented. So we yet to see whether these can manifest into a broader movement across the Strip.
Yeah, we'll see. Janatan, I want to ask you about the United States beefing up its Navy presence in the Middle East, given the tensions with Iran and the Houthi rebels in Yemen. How do you interpret this move? And is this purely deterrence, or is it preparation for something more?
It is perhaps both. So Tehran continues to escalate both its rhetoric and actions against the United States. They supply weapons to Hamas and the Houthis in the Red Sea, and they've held numerous drills recently threatening to escalate against the United States in the Persian Gulf. I mean, ultimately, the main threat posed by Iran is their nuclear program, and now they've reportedly increased weaponization efforts. They rejected President Trump's plan of or offer of negotiations because they know they cannot obtain concessions anymore. So it seems like from the Iranian perspective, which backs Houthis and backs Hamas, the supreme leader in Tehran prefers a military confrontation as opposed to a diplomatic solution.
All right, Janatan Sayeh with Foundation for Defense of Democracies, thank you so much for your time and your expertise tonight.
Thank you, Janatan.